What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is Chasing Atlanta, season 4, episode 2. So, listen, let me get to my notes. Listen, I'm a little confused by some stuff, and I hope y'all can clear some things up for me because I'm a little confused at this. So, first of all, we meet a couple of new cast members, whatever. This episode. So we meet we see Q. Okay. Now in the last episode, Q was saying that he get a new job last episode and he was moving to Atlanta. I'm not saying that the two are connected. I'm just saying he got a new job and he was also moving to Atlanta. Maybe I missed it. I know he moved to Atlanta. This episode, he's the head of Sony A&R. Is that based in Atlanta or is that based in California? I'm sorry, I mean he moving to LA, not Atlanta. Is it based in California? The new job? Confused. Anyway, he's having an open mic night. His boss is there, and one of somebody he knows from his hometown of Fayetteville, a rapper by the name of Rico with a K, is there to perform on the open mic. So he performs. I love the music. That's my song right there. Long Live the King. Shit, now I can't think of his name, but you know who I'm talking about because I know you know that I know that you know. Okay. And it was cool. He did his little performance, and then him and Q had a little conversation afterwards, and it was sort of that, first he was trying to give him some advice, talking about my boss, he thought you was cool and everything, but he was just saying, what's some technical things you could do better, like hold the mic. You don't know how to hold, boy. So I feel like Q was just trying to find something to say, because anyway. Then they were just kind of having a casual conversation about, I'm glad you're here, how things going since you moved to Atlanta, da-da-da. Well, I want to introduce you to some of my friends, help you network, continue to keep going, continue to keep grinding, do your thing. Okay. Now, what we've learned from Rico is that he moved. He's an independent artist. He's put his album out on his own. He moved to Atlanta to, market his album, be closer to a music scene, and get himself to be more recognized, get out of North Carolina and whatever. We also found out that he's part of the LGBTQIA community, but this is the first time that he's able to live his truth. And so that's new for him, and that's something he's going to be exploring. So I think that's going to be very interesting, that how he learns how to live in his truth. I think that'll be something interesting to explore. I hope we dig deeper into that. So that was that. Then we see Dominique meet up with Cameron. Now again, my timeline, y'all, help a sister out. Work with me, okay? So Cameron, good to see you, Cameron. Cameron, you looking good, boo. You are looking good. We know a few years back Cameron had a cancer scare, but he's got a little bit of weight on him. He looks a lot healthier. He's got a little color back. He looks good. You do look good, Cameron. And Cameron was meeting up with Dominique. Now, first of all, Dominique, last week when you was talking to Oliver, you said you ain't know nobody in Atlanta. Now all of a sudden you met Cameron. Y'all been DMing each other, and y'all good Judies. How many people you don't know that you know in Atlanta, Dominique? Okay, because that's the third person. First it was Lauren. Then, boy, who you know? Then you talking about this whole situation with Lauren again. Now we getting more details. Did your sister work for Lauren in Alabama, or did she work for Lauren in Atlanta? Because Lauren has had a shop in both places. Okay, so which one is it? Now the picture they showed last week, it was from his shop in Atlanta. So did your sister move to Atlanta and live with Lauren? Then y'all was, you was kind of throwing some pot shots about how, well, when my sister lived with her, she lived in an apartment. But I mean, she was all over the gram posting this house that, her and her boyfriend was living in, bought or whatever. Now, Cameron tried to throw it out there on the backside, slide side, in between side, that she don't live there no more. But she don't need to live there. That was a big ass house for one person. I mean, once her and the boy broke up, that's a big ass house for one person. Whether you got it for a good price or not, child, that's a lie. Anyway, so I'm just confused at this point, because he said, well, Once she got fired, my sister put her out. I mean, she put my sister out knowing she was from Birmingham, and she could. So I'm assuming that this was in Atlanta, and well, she couldn't get to Birmingham. And then he said Lauren kept the last paycheck. Did your sister? I mean, maybe your sister owe her rent. I don't know, but it's a lot. But the fact that you caping this hard for a situation that it's your sister's, technically this your sister's situation. You caping real hard, but okay, whatever. Um, and then talking about, well, she gonna have to see me. See you about what? If your sister want her paycheck, your sister need to take her on Judge Judy, Judge Mathis, small claims court, people's court, something. That's not your fight. Anyway, yeah. All right. So then we meet Travis, right? I've seen Travis before. I think Travis was on that dating show. I think he was on another show. Anyway, but Travis seems, he's a radio personality. He sort of stepped away from the scene for a little bit, but he's back. He really loves radio. That's something he just always wanted to do his whole life. Him and Q have a rapport. So Q calls him up. Now here's the dumb shit. Q called him up to invite him to an event, but he ain't gonna be there. Q was like, well, I don't know if I'm going because I'm gonna be packing to go to LA. And Travis was like, well, I mean, I don't like going places where I don't know anybody. Like, that's not my personality. I'm not good with that. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, how you just going to invite me somewhere and then you ain't going to be there? And I feel the same way. Like, I get it. Q, you was trying to, like, you probably was doing the producers a solid because you do have a relationship with the show, but at the same time, you were in the process of moving, so you was probably filming some scenes or whatever. But what you not gonna do is invite me to a party that you ain't going to. What kind of bullshit is that? And then they was really making it seem like it was this big marketing, networking event. Child, is this the event at Troy's house? Is this the Christmas party down at Troy's house? That ain't no networking event. That's a messy event. Okay? Call it what it is and let it be what it is. Girl. Anyway, Travis, I don't know about you. I ain't going, boo. I wouldn't go. I'm just saying I wouldn't go. Okay. Then we see Lauren embarking on her trip to China. Again, if you follow her on social media, you know she really did go to China. And she was in China for a while and she visited factories. She did post about it. I'm hoping that they're going to splice in some of her trip throughout the show because she really did go to China for a while. And she said that her hope is that she comes back a better person, that she just comes back not being the person that she was, that she learns, she grows, she evolves mentally, spiritually, all of those things that she wants for herself. She sounds like she really, truly is going to step into who she is right now, that she really, truly is stepping into her transition, right? I'm just going to call a spade, like we see it on screen. And she is really calling into her transition, and it's really gonna take this trip for what it is, right? I don't know whose idea this trip was, but it sounds like it's something that's gonna be good for Lauren. I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of feeling a different energy from Lauren this season. I really, really am. Again, if y'all watch my reviews, y'all know I ain't always been nice to Miss Lauren, okay? But I do feel a different energy off of her. I really, really do. And I hope it's real and it's not just what I want it to be. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Oh, Rico and Oliver. So Rico and Oliver meet up. Rico reached out to Oliver because he's trying to network, with some artists that are definitely in the community because he's new to Atlanta. He's new to the community. And, definitely you always want to be able to connect with another artist, somebody that's doing what you're doing. And so they link up. And Oliver said, hey, I know what it's like to be an artist on an island by yourself and not really having a body, not really having a mentor or somebody you can lean on and kind of having to do it on your own. So when artists reach out to me, I always try to be available. I always try to, make the time, right? I don't take it lightly because I've been on the other side. So they have a really good conversation. Oliver invites him to come and perform at one of his networking events. Now that's a real networking event. Like you gonna be performing. Okay, and it's at a Pride event. So he said it's gonna be at a venue that holds about 500 people. I think that's a pretty good opportunity for Rico. So I think that was cool. Um, then Q came up and Oliver was like, he said, it's really, I really feel like Oliver really misses his friendship with Q. It really bothers him. Now, I don't know who right and who wrong. I ain't got no dog in that fight. I think we're going to find out more about it next week. But it sounds like Oliver really, really does miss his friendship with Q. And so, it's one of those awkward situations when somebody asks you, but like, oh, you do know that person, and you kind of sitting there like, I know him, but I can't really say I know him, but I don't know him, but I do know him. But um, and like I said, I don't know the story. I wasn't there. I don't know. I don't know who's right and who's wrong, child. So then, Kendra is doing her music video for her song Free Kendra or Free Little Kendra, which is the diss track that Oliver was speaking on last week. It is that. That is it. It is that. And the big thing about this scene is that we found out that somebody was supposed to be working with Lil Kendra doing the video, and at the last minute, once they found out that she was transgender, they no longer wanted to do the video. They no longer wanted to work with her because she was trans. And so she just spoke on that, the fact that, it's happened to her before. It's unfortunate. It's part of the industry. It hurts. It bothers her, but it's not going to deter her. And she said something that I thought was very important. She said, all that told me was that he wasn't the person that was supposed to do it. God, that he wasn't supposed to do it. And I said, sometimes you just have to look at things from that angle and say, you know what? This looks like it's a negative thing, but it really is a positive thing because you weren't the one. And when this becomes a hit, it becomes a success, you're going to wish your name was attached to it. And that's sort of the attitude you have to have, because unfortunately in this industry, you know that you have, I don't want to say strikes against you, because those shouldn't be strikes against you. But you know that you're going to come across ignorant people who have ignorant views and thoughts. And unfortunately, it is what it is. But you're right. You keep that attitude, Kendra. You keep that mentality that it's their loss. And fuck them. Okay? Okay. Then we have Oliver, and Oliver doing this interview with Hey Mikey, who on iHeartRadio. Listen, first of all, Oliver, I love you down, boo. Don't ever do an interview again with them gold teeth in your mouth. And I'm gonna tell you why. Oliver, you are a very articulate person, and you speak very clearly, and your words are very clear. In that interview, you were mumbling, slurring, and it was times when I really couldn't understand what you were saying. And that's not your normal diction. That is not your normal diction. I was sitting here thinking, what the fuck is wrong? Why I can't understand what he's saying? But I realized you had them gold teeth. Don't do another. I mean, if you want to perform with him on and all of that, that's great. But don't do another interview. Don't do another interview, okay? Because it really did fuck up. For me, it did. I can't speak to nobody else, but it really fucked that up for me. Now, in this interview, you did open up a little bit more about what's going on between you and Q. And come to find out, some information, I guess something was said, and somebody told Q you said it or you did it. And when Q confronted you, you denied it, and you basically were like, look, you have the option of either believing me or believing them, and Q chose to believe them. Now, what I'm going to say about that, Oliver, is if you and Q were as close as you and Q thought y'all were, and he believed the other person, then that means that, maybe Q think you messy. Maybe Q believes, like, here's the thing, you can love somebody and you can be cool with them, but know who they are, and you love them in spite of. And so, I feel like what that came down to was, Q loved you and all as a friend, but Q also felt like you had the ability to do whatever it was that was done. And again, we don't have all of the details. And I was sitting here thinking, why is Oliver telling all his damn business on this radio show? But then he explained it. He said a part of him was hoping that Q was listening. A part of him was hoping that Q was listening because he really did want Q to reach out to him because he misses his friend, and he really does want the opportunity to clear the air and for them to get back in a good space. And so with that being said, yeah. Then we see Q actually moving to LA. First of all, let me say, Chase and Atlanta, I appreciate, and you guys did a really good job with this part. Q spoke on Ty Couture, who was a friend to me as well, and I mean I wasn't as close to him as you guys were, obviously, but um, he said, you know, he's been going through a lot, and the death of Ty hit him hard. Ty was one of his closest friends in Atlanta, and it sort of left him a little open, a little raw in reference to that. He said that, but that, but losing Ty sort of gave him the courage to make the move to LA, because Ty always told him, just go for it, go for your dreams, go for it, and that is what um that's what sort of gave him that final push to get out of Atlanta and move to LA. And then they did a nice in remembrance for Ty, and for that I appreciate it. I do. I'm sure. I mean, as someone who, thank you. That's it. That's all I got before I get to rambling on about that. But that was a very nice tribute at the end to Ty Couture, and I appreciate that for the producers of Chasing Reality for doing that. With that being said, that's episode 2, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.